Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Throwing Partners.
Woo, woo.
I hope you're having a great start to the week. Should I say the work week?
Work week.
Because we are recording this on Monday night, so you're going to get it Tuesday morning on your way to work. You're listening in to the best podcast in all time.
The best one all time.
Followers.
Like
all 15 followers.
all 15 listeners and people who just mark it played on Spotify, like myself.
And thank you, Mom, and thank you, family, for listening.
Yeah,
you guys are great supporters.
Thank you, Steph.
For the other people that are listening, thank you so much for listening, and make sure you share it to everybody else in your family too, because we are the number one name in worldwide of sports, not ESPN. Throwing Partners.
It's
Look it up in the dictionary, because
we're their source.
Yes, ESPN is an acronym, so that doesn't count technically.
Yep, Eastern Sports Bias PN. That's what they stand for.
But before I go on a rant, I'm always joined by my best friend and host, Brian Caprino. How are you today?
I am great. It was warm the last 2 days. I'm sitting in here sweating at the moment.
You need some deodorant?
I think it's mainly sweating. No, I'm good. I'm fresh. I think it's just that it's warm out, and I also had the first two innings of the scrimmage against the Dodgers and Angels on, and Shohei was pitching and did not look like he had great control. His velocity was great, but his control scared me, and he gave up a 2-run shot. So it's 3-0.
So what you mean to tell me is, Chris, you're right. He should just stick to hitting.
Not yet.
He's having a great hitting spring training. So anyways, we're gonna save that. We're gonna save that for later. Okay. I do want to make a shout out though. As you can see, if you're watching this on YouTube, I am wearing a Vancouver Grizzlies hat. So shout out to Big Zay Mac. I know he's a Grizz fan all time. He's been on the show. He was on the first episode.
Friend of the pod.
And he's got a new video out, a new rap video. It's great. It's phenomenal. I love his music. So go check him out. Also on YouTube. We're gonna make a big shout out to him as well. But I also have the Bibby Vancouver Grizzlies jersey too, so I'm gonna make him extra jealous if he's listening to this.
You should wear that next episode.
I should, and we should bring him back. Him back. But with that, we're gonna talk about NFL first. My first question to you is, how do you feel about Leonard Fournette's re-signing on a 1-year deal back to Tampa Bay?
It's low risk, high reward, like a lot of these 1-year deals. Brady's played with him. He's comfortable there. He had a great Super Bowl and a great season with them. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. Bring him back.
He also was a superhero in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he really was. His rushing yards and everything in the playoffs were crazy. So I totally agree with you. Low risk. They signed him for dirt cheap too.
Yeah.
So it's very organizational friendly in that terms, because they are close to the cap, because they're trying to bring everybody back from the Super Bowl repeat. All right, so let's go to another contract. Sammy Watkins walks from KC and now is in a Baltimore uniform for a 1-year deal.
It's so weird to me that KC did nothing to keep him.
Yeah.
Like I don't see how he walked. Why? Like maybe they just didn't. He wanted a new scenery.
He was honestly, I feel like that is Patrick Mahomes' favorite target. I mean, everybody says Tyreek Hill, but I think Sammy Watkins is right there with him. But now, Lamar Jackson's got a new weapon to use. And now we can actually see why he passes and how good he passes. So this is a good test to see, is Lamar Jackson a throwing quarterback?
Yeah, he's got a good core now. He's got a guy to throw to. So
he's got Snead, he's got everybody there still.
Yeah, we have to see how he does, and to see if this
Mark
can push
Andrews
them.
Is great, yeah.
If they can push them over into the next round,
and not be a playoff bust. So
yeah.
So Sammy Watkins to Baltimore, Leonard Fournette back to Tampa. Those are just a few of the free agent signings. We're not going to go through all of them. I mean, NFL's been popping lately, so get your daily dose in the news, Google, whatever, but we're bringing you those two. But we're going to talk about a person that hasn't been signed yet and where you think he should go. And he's been out of football for a year now. Jadavian Clowney still doesn't have a home. Great defensive end. He's asking a lot. A lot of teams are not going to pay him that much because, one, he's been out of football now for that long. Two, they think with his injury prone when he was in Houston, he had a little bit in Seattle, not very much, but he still is a great defensive end. Where do you think he goes?
I'm going to go a team that's kind of on the rise, I think. And I know you said another team, and I'm going to go with something else. I'm going to say Cleveland.
Cleveland. So you're going to put them with Myles Garrett?
Yes.
If I mean, it makes sense. I don't know what Cleveland's cap space looks like, but I mean, that's a good addition to a defense that's already good. I mean, we saw what they did to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So Pittsburgh had their guys in.
Yeah. So if you're listening, Cleveland, Bri here is telling you pick up Jadavian Clowney.
Yeah, it'll benefit you. It'll benefit your team. I don't know about going to the Super Bowl.
They just made the playoffs. They're going to the Super Bowl.
Maybe in the next 2 to 3 years. Who knows?
I was hoping they didn't make playoffs because then I wouldn't feel as bad being a Seattle Mariner fan, being that long with that playoff drought. But now we're kind of like all by ourselves. So,
yeah.
But
sorry,
we're gonna jump to another signing. Philip Lindsay is now in Houston. Houston was in dire need of a running back. We also know the cases about Deshaun Watson, what's going on there. More to follow with the investigation. What finds out more from that, that's a whole other story. So nothing really put out much yet except for the cases on that. But Houston is in shambles. It's
Houston's
a terrible place to be at.
Yeah.
And did sign a good running back, prone to injuries like crazy, but when healthy can ball out. And here's my prediction from, according to NFL Network, this is their prediction. If Lindsay stays healthy, they're predicting 150 carries, 700 yards, 6 TDs. Do you think it goes over or under? And I'm talking. No, don't even say if he's healthy or not. It's just,
I was just talking about him being in Houston. Yeah. I think it's under on the touchdowns, to be honest.
You don't think he gets 6? That's really low.
I mean, I'm looking at his stats from last year. He was hurt 118 carries, 1 touchdown. The year before he had 7.
That's what I'm saying.
His career high is 9.
So you're going under 6. What about over or under 700 yards?
I think he'll go over. I don't think
he's the end zone. I don't think he's the end zone. He's not the end zone guy. He's not an end zone guy. Okay. And then 150 carries over or under? Over. Okay. So he is their every down player except for red zone.
Yeah.
Okay. I can agree with that. But with that, we're going to wrap things up in the NFL. It's still heating up. It's popping with the free agency and everything like that. So please inform yourselves, go on Google, or just listen to what we have to say about the certain ones we're talking about. So with that, we're jumping over to a whole totally different sport called hockey,
which we haven't talked about in a couple weeks, I think.
Yeah. They play with sticks. There's a puck made out of rubber that's frozen, and it's super hard. They shoot it like 100 miles an hour sometimes, and you get hit and you go in fights. What's not to love about
hockey? That's hockey. And what's
not to love about hockey? But for all the people out there that don't listen to hockey, you don't have to listen to anything I'm saying right now. But for the people that do listen to hockey, I'm talking about Stephen Bravo. So Brian, I know you follow hockey for a little bit. I had to introduce you to the sport. Me and my dad introduced you to this sport
in high school of all times.
In high school, but still, though, you know the gist of it.
Yeah.
You know the big names. So I have 4 players here. Okay, these are my MVP candidates according to myself. I'm pretty sure the NHL is going to agree with me. So Connor McDavid for the Edmonton Oilers, Patrick Kane of Chicago, Mitch Marner of Toronto, and Leon Draisaitl, I think that's how you say it, Draisaitl, for Edmonton. So Edmonton has 2 players on the MVP board for me. And then Patrick Kane is from Chicago. Mitchell Marner is from Toronto. I will just tell you this. Connor McDavid is leading in points overall.
Yeah.
But that doesn't exclude how to win MVP, you have to be an overall player. So you have to play defense. You have to get poke checks. You have to get everything in there. So who is your guy then out of those 4?
Man, I'm looking at Marner's stats, and I looked at a few of those guys' stats, and looking at Marner's, and I'm like, he's the all-around player like you suggested. Like the MVP needs to be all-around player. I'm looking at his assists, 30 assists, 42 points, 12 goals. Like he's doing it.
He's how do I say this? In Toronto, there are more players to give the puck to than Edmonton has. That's why McDavid and Draisaitl have more numbers and I guess you could say more goals than Mitch
because they're
Marner
doing it themselves. Yeah,
exactly. So you're saying you're liking Mitchell Marner is what you're saying?
I'm liking Marner, and I think given that he's right now, Toronto sits on top of the North. They're 22, 10, and 3. And they lead with 47 points, right above Edmonton by 3 games. I like what Martin brings, and like seeing that he's on both sides of the puck. I think that shows that he's deserving of MVP. But all these guys are probably deserving of it. But my pick, is going to be Marner.
I'm gonna go. I want to say it so bad, but I think I'm going to be wrong. But I'm just going to say it. Patrick Kane is long overdue for an MVP. Long overdue. Connor McDavid had his. I get it. Connor McDavid is probably like the Sidney Crosby from 10 years ago, basically.
Yeah.
But Patrick Kane has been consistent. He has always been on top. It's long overdue. The last 2 years, I would say the last 2 years, he's been snubbed of it. But I think Patrick Kane gets it this year. To put up those numbers on an average team in Chicago, I think you got to give it to him.
Yeah, like I'm looking at Kane's stats right now, and he's been a long stay in Chicago, Pride of Buffalo.
He's been there his whole life.
So I'm looking at the stats comparing to him and Marner, and they're not far off from each other.
No, they're not. They're not at all.
One's just on a better team than the other.
Exactly.
And it's not
but just imagine
how well your team does, it's how well you do.
Exactly. But think about if you put Patrick Kane in Toronto and Marner in Chicago, what do you think happens? I think Patrick Kane's
stats go way higher.
And Mitch Marner
goes down.
I wouldn't say goes down. I'd say he stays there.
Okay.
I just think Patrick Kane on any other team but Chicago would just flourish.
He's got 48 points.
That's what I'm saying. He's a monster, but Connor McDavid right now is leading in points. So if you're going for points, Connor McDavid is, I would say, the lead runner for MVP right now. But Patrick Kane and Mitch Marner have a good shot at also getting it too. So we'll see.
It'll be a tight race.
Take it. Yeah, it's going to come down to the wire. We're going to see what happens. But on another note, in the NHL, it seems like hockey in Florida is a big thing now. Apparently, I didn't know they had ice down there. I always thought it was just sunny, then random rain, and then sunny again, humid, tropical weather, but no ice.
And
apparently,
crazy people.
And crazy people.
Florida man.
But apparently they like ice. They like ice because the Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning are phenomenal. Florida has been successful this whole entire year. They don't even have 10 losses yet. Neither does Tampa Bay.
They're at 9.
So I guess I'm just going to say it too. We're going to talk about it. Tampa Bay, to me, I love Philly. They're going to make playoffs. Don't fret, people. Philly is going to make their shot. They're going to punch their ticket in. And guess what? They're going to take the almighty Tampa Bay Giant down. They're going to do it.
They're 5th in the East, Chris.
But if I'm being real, Tampa Bay is going to repeat the Stanley Cup. It's going to happen.
They're really good.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
The whole division, the Central Division is really good. The top 3 teams don't have 10 losses yet.
Exactly. And don't get me started. But here's the thing. Florida is successful. Tampa Bay is successful. You never would think Florida teams would be successful in hockey. But we're seeing it. Good for them. They're both really, I would say Florida is a very young team. They're very young on their roster. Tampa Bay's got the veterans and the young, but Florida is just straight young. Like they've drafted well, they've traded well, and they've got the young stash there. But what rhymes with stash is Nash. And I'm talking Smashville. Nashville Predators are on the rise, winning 5 straight. We're seeing the fangs come out. We're seeing the fangs come out of that logo, and they're bringing it on the ice. Nashville's on the rise. Okay, so watch out for Nashville. It looks like hockey towns are nowhere to be found in the ice regions except for Toronto. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm like looking at it. It's like, ooh, Detroit, you stink.
It's desert, plains, desert.
Buffalo,
that's what
you
it
stink.
is.
Ottawa, you stink. Anaheim,
Detroit,
you stink.
Detroit,
Detroit,
you stink.
They stink.
So,
Minnesota, you're good. You're good, Minnesota. You're third.
they're
So
all right. They're
Colorado,
all right.
you're third.
Edmonton's good. Edmonton's
Yeah.
good.
Winnipeg,
but
good.
But we're gonna switch to another sport that is sharing the same season as hockey. They're both at the same time. Great two-sport duo. NBA. We're gonna talk about Blake Griffin is now officially a Brooklyn Net. He dominated in defense. I think he did his job what he was meant there to do. He knows his role, and I think the Nets are just gonna keep getting better the whole time. And now they got Aldridge there too. What's next for the Nets? Brian, go.
They picked up Aldridge, like you just said. Blake looks so different. Like to
happy.
me, he looks happy. He looks rejuvenated to me.
Yeah.
Like seeing that, like I said in the last pod or two ago, I don't remember. I want to see like early Clippers Blake Griffin, and
I don't think you'll see
I'm
that.
not seeing
I want to see
that,
the defense,
but I'm seeing it like demeanor wise.
So like healthy psychological playing basketball.
Yes, and he's having fun.
Yes, I mean, who wouldn't have fun being a Brooklyn Net right now?
Yeah, right.
I don't know if you're not happy in Brooklyn, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, something's wrong.
But let's also go over to the NBA trade deadline just happened. Aaron Gordon is now a Denver Nugget. Great pickup for Denver. They got their big man, and he just dominated his first game in Denver.
And they picked up JaVale McGee from Cleveland.
And JaVale McGee. I mean, that's a lot of money, but Aaron Gordon to Denver, great pickup. But I want you to give me your input on Oladipo to Miami. How do you think he does?
I think he'll do well. I think he'll do well with Jimmy Butler.
Do you think he goes back to Indiana days?
I think so. He's still coming off of a really bad knee injury, and giving what he's doing now while like still like testing it isn't bad. And I think he's not going to have to carry as much in Miami as he did maybe in Houston. So
Miami is a better team than what the record shows. They are.
I think so. They just went to the finals, 6 games against the Lakers.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if you don't pay attention to basketball and you see Miami's record, you're like, oh, they're just kind of average. If you actually care about basketball and you follow it and everything like that, Miami is a way better team than what they are.
Yeah.
On paper, on like standing paper.
Yeah.
To me in the East, they're like a 5th seed to me on their roster. Because to me, the East right now is really weak compared to the West too.
The West is, man.
The West is going to come down to like the last 4 games of the season, like it did last year in the bubble.
I think so. And you don't know. I know we talked about the Lakers. They're local. They're my team. They are in the 4th seed right now. They pick up Andre Drummond, who's going to do well. He's going to start over Marc Gasol.
Marc Gasol, I'm sorry, has been I like him as a player, but he's been trash.
So but having Gasol on the bench adds a little bit more depth. So
he needs to come off the bench. He doesn't need to start. So
I think still while AD's out and LeBron, Drummond's going to slide in there with Kuzma, with Harrell and Schroeder, and it's going to be fine. And I think they're might jump up a little bit. Who knows? The Clippers aren't looking good, which is great.
Don't
like the Clippers.
Recently about the Clippers, I mean, they got Rondo, which they needed. They needed a, how do you say it? A field general, or a court general, as
I say. They're not doing good, yet they won the last 5 games. So
yeah. But I'm saying, honestly, in my opinion, I mean, we know that the Lakers are the big name in the West to beat, but besides Utah to me is still my favorite in the West. But the team that I think that can beat all these teams is the Clippers. It is the Clippers. They play the best defensive basketball, honestly, in my opinion. Paul George and Kawhi are like one of the best duo defensive players probably since like, I wouldn't say as good, but I'm just going to compare them to this time and age to like the Chicago Bulls with like Dennis Rodman and everything.
Yeah.
In today's day and age.
The thing is though, like you don't know which Clippers you're going to get in the playoffs. You're either going to get regular season Clippers, or they're going to be like this team in the D League. Like, they're not even going to play.
But here's the thing though with that is now that they have Rondo, I think that is like, it was Rondo last year for the Lakers was the key. Honestly.
Yeah. I think
Rondo was literally he was the key. I get it. Like, LeBron and Anthony Davis together are just we've seen it. I mean, they played this year, they're dominant. But the tempo level without Rajon Rondo is a lot slower.
Yeah. I mean, we saw the Clippers success with Chris Paul.
Yes.
So
they're not getting Phoenix.
They're not getting a Chris Paul type player, but they're still getting a Chris Paul type mind. And that's what
Rajon Rondo right now is something the Clippers need. It was a dire need. They made it happen. They needed it. But excuse me.
They lose Lou Williams. And I'm gonna bring this up. I don't know if this is a real quote, but Lou Williams said that if he played for any team other than the Clippers, he's retiring. Do you think he keeps that word?
No.
Yeah.
He loves basketball too
much.
Money. Well, I think Lou Williams doesn't even play for money anymore. I think he literally loves to play basketball, not as a job, but as a hobby.
Yeah.
I think Lou Williams is like equivalent to like Chris Paul's charisma for Players Association kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he does retire. If he does, he actually partners up with Chris Paul in that organization there, like for Players Association. I think he's a good voice for the league. So
yeah, I agree.
That's enough of basketball. So we've covered NFL, we've covered hockey, we've covered NBA. What's the last thing, Brian?
Baseball.
We're talking baseball. We're talking a fluffy pillow. If you get a hit, you go to fluffy pillow, and then if you go farther than fluffy pillow, you get two fluffy pillows. I'm talking bases. I'm talking rounding those bases. You're turning and burning. That's what you're doing, like Texas Hold'em. Okay, so we're gonna talk about something in Texas. I call it the straight shooter. Rogned Odor, gone. You gone.
DFA'd. See ya.
You gone.
Clear waivers, free agent.
Best thing you did, punch Jose Bautista in the face. Smacked him. If you haven't seen the video, he smacked him. So,
straight up sucker punch to the side.
Like if you're an upcoming UFC fighter, I think you should, or actually Dana White, sign Rogned Odor. I bet you
he looks like he would do well, and he just has that look.
Sorry for the curse word. I'm sorry for the curse word.
It's fine. We'll mark it explicit for the ASS word.
I always put it as not for kids on YouTube.
This isn't for kids because we say ass. Sorry.
But I said the A word, which could mean the animal.
Yes.
I could say that. I could.
Yeah. Donkeys.
It's donkey. It's donkeys. We're talking about Shrek. Anyways, Odor has been released from Texas. He's still super young. He's going to get a job somewhere. Not starting, though. I don't think he starts anywhere. Honestly, here's my thing. If you really want him, make him a DH. Make him a DH.
That, or he's a great power bat off the bench.
That's what I'm saying. Make him earn that spot. Make him drive for that spot. I think there was too much little talent in Texas for him to be like, oh, okay. Get him to a team that's competitive. And if you get him to, start showing some numbers or be competitive, I think he would do very well.
Yeah. The thing is, Texas is weird to me. Like, they just make weird decisions.
Well, it's also in the water time. It's a weird time in Texas too. So.
Look at Houston, not the Texans, but the Astros. But look at the Texans. Look at the Rangers. What's going on? It's in the water. Who knows?
Look at the Dallas Stars. They suck.
Yeah, the Cowboys, America's team, suck.
I mean, Dak Prescott is a great thing to have back though, but they need more than just him.
Yeah. So Odor, I don't know where he'll go. Like I don't even have a guess right now. But he won't be unemployed long.
One.
What's your guess?
I have one. I think Tampa Bay.
Everyone that goes to Tampa Bay finds
that's so much better,
different demeanor, and they're rejuvenated to this old player that they used to be, or
Joey Wendell's there. I think he's going to anchor second, but I mean, you need a DH. They lost a lot of players on their roster. They lost G-Man Choi to injury.
Yeah.
And they lost Nate Lowe. Nate Lowe's not there anymore. So
Nate Lowe's gone?
Yeah, he got traded. He's in Texas.
Ugh.
You didn't know that? That was like one of the first trades to happen.
I don't remember.
Look it up.
Week.
Look it up. While I talk about this, while Brian's talking about this, if you guys didn't know, a lot of roster moves happened in spring training. Some very good prospects got sent down. It looks like they need more time, according to the organizations. More specifically, Sixto Sanchez, starting pitcher for the Marlins, who I thought was going to make the roster because he's great and Miami needs all the help they can get. But they sent him down. Bobby Whitt Jr., only 20 years old, almost one of the number one prospects in all of baseball for Kansas City, got sent down. Give him some more time. And Jared Kelenic, number 9 prospect, I think, all time of the Mariners, also sent down. I think Kelenic needs to come back up, but we do have a plethora of outfielders in Seattle with Kyle Lewis kind of getting a knee problem. So big hole to fill out there without Kyle Lewis. But Brian, did you find out about that trade?
Yeah. You know what confused me? The fact that the Rays have like 6 different Lows on their team.
There's Nate Lowe. There's there's Brandon Lowe. Brandon Lowe plays second base though. I think that's it, right?
There's a few. I read through a few. There's
okay.
Let's see.
I got the right Lowe, right? It was Nate
Brandon
Lowe,
Josh Lowe. Nate Lowe went to Texas.
He went to Texas.
He had a great spring,
I don't know
too.
why. But I just don't know why they had him because Guzman's there too. So I don't know.
Texas is weird.
But as you were looking up, I just talked about the prospects that are pretty high prospects that got sent down. But let's talk about Eloy Jimenez's injury in a spring training game trying to rob a home run.
Yeah, so he's going back and I don't even know if he really tried. He just did a little hook thing over the fence and hung there. And that's what tore his pectoral muscle.
Yep.
Which is going to sideline him to, 5 to 6 weeks? I don't even remember.
Oh, no, longer.
Was it longer? I don't remember the days.
But a pectoral muscle, that's
long.
A long time. That's a long time.
I don't know the timetable, but
Eloy Jimenez is probably the best offensive player besides Tim Anderson there and Jose Abreu. So you just took away probably about 90 RBIs from that team.
Yeah. For a long time.
Yeah. So Chicago White Sox, still a great team without him, of course. But I think their odds of winning the whole entire World Series has dropped because of that. So that just goes to show you, you play hard in spring training, but you have your limits to your health.
Yeah.
So
play
smartly. Play smartly.
You know what's funny is we see Tatis on an infield
tagging up on a pop.
Tagging up on a pop-up, scoring from home, head first slide.
But here's the thing. Eloy Jimenez to me is just a bat. He's not a fielder. Right? But Tatis is that Tatis knows his body very well. He knows what he's good at. Eloy Jimenez, for some reason, I don't think I've ever seen him try to rob a home run in regular season. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I don't know why you're doing that in spring training.
Recovery time, I was way off. I said 5 to 6 weeks.
It's
5 to 6 months.
Yeah. Oh, I told you it's a long time.
It's the whole season. That hurt. The White Sox are the favorite in the Central.
AL Central, yes.
And them losing a bat like that for pretty much the entire season.
They just gave it to the Twins or the Royals.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Or even Cleveland's still good.
Yeah, he didn't even try to even read.
It was just
fish hooked it, and oh man, don't go out in spring, man. Unless you're trying to prove something, but in his case,
if you're a prospect,
he's already solidified on the roster.
He was up for Rookie of the Year,
so there's no point in trying to prove what you could do. Yeah.
Speaking of Rookie of the Years, we're gonna go through a little list here of award winners for baseball. Okay. And this is where we're going to end the podcast at. Okay. So I want your 2 cents on Rookie of the Year winners. Who is the favorite for the AL and the NL in your opinion?
It's really hard. there's that kid in Cleveland that is still under rookie because of last year being a shortened season.
Yeah, he didn't play the whole.
He didn't play the whole thing. It's something like McKenzie. I don't remember
Tristan
his name.
McKenzie.
Tristan McKenzie.
Tristan McKenzie.
I think
the starter.
I think he's gonna win AL Rookie of the Year. He was really good last year. And I think NL, even though the Pirates are gonna suck, this is gonna be the one bright spot.
Brian Hayes.
You're
saying
Brian Hayes.
He's good. He's good. I got two different answers for you though for Rookie of the Year. For the AL, for me, I'm gonna say it, and I think it's gonna work out. Jared Kelenick's gonna come back up for the Mariners, and I think he's gonna get it.
I think Kelenic gets called up in like late April, and he's on the roster the whole season. He never goes back down.
Even though Taylor Trammell is going to start too, because he's having a phenomenal spring.
Yeah, we'll see how Trammell does because
he's technically a rookie too. He's a rookie too.
He's never played in the big leagues.
Yeah. So I think Jared Kelenic I think Seattle gets back-to-back Rookie of the Year. That looks great.
That'd be cool.
NL though, I love Brian Hayes. I think he's a great player, but man, my man Dylan Carlson in St. Louis is just teeing off, and he's finally getting the playing time he deserves. I have to go Dylan Carlson, and he's a switch hitter. He's a switch hitter.
None of these are bad choices.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But I think the NL has more rookies than the AL does. So
I think so.
With that, let's go to Cy Young Award winners for the American League and National League. Let me go first on this because I think I have some good picks, but I know you're going to pick differently.
My picks are solidified.
For the National League, okay, this is what I'm picking. All right, I'm picking Yu Darvish. I'm picking Yu Darvish. I know Jacob deGrom is amazing and everything. He got snubbed of it last year. I get it. But Yu Darvish, man, on a San Diego Padres team that is deadly, he's going to get the wins. He's going to get the support. He's going to get everything he needs. Jacob deGrom does it with a horrible Mets team, but he also has weapons now too. So we'll see how that goes. But Yu Darvish, I mean, come on, that ethos is always disgusting.
And Yu's out of Chicago. He's out of Chicago.
He's in a pitcher's friendly ballpark.
Yeah.
Let alone Dodgers is a pitcher friendly ballpark. Diamondbacks is a hitter. Coors is a hitter.
Yeah.
But I mean, San Francisco is definitely pitcher's ballpark too. So 3 out of 5 in the division are pitcher friendly.
Yeah.
Other than NL Central, I think that's better for him. AL though, man, AL is so hard for me to pick, but I'm gonna say it, and I hate to say it. Garrett Cole, man, he looks too good. He just looks good.
Okay.
He looks really good.
Those are really great picks. I don't think the people that won it last year have the same season they had this year. Bauer and Bieber, not happening.
No. I think Bieber has a better season than Bauer, though.
Yeah. I think I really like your Yu Darvish pick. The first Cy Young in San Diego since Jake Peavy. Great.
Yeah.
I'm with you on AL. I'm picking Cole. And I'm picking for NL right across town with Jacob deGrom. His spring, like
right across town. That's like way across on the other map.
It's across town.
Jacob deGrom and Yu Darvish?
No, it was Garrett Cole. I said Garrett
Cole and Jacob.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Across the map. No. Plus we're in the same league.
Across the map. That's like ocean to ocean.
They're in the same league. Coast to coast. No, yeah, it's staying in New York. I think Cole, like he didn't have a full season last year. Like he did well last year.
He did very well.
But I think with him having the 33 starts this year, like he's gonna do really well, especially with fans in Yankee Stadium. Like,
yeah,
he's gonna just
so
lead off
let's
of it.
For Cy Young, we're done. MVP now. I mean, you're gonna pick Mike Trout. Mike Trout.
I don't.
Come on.
There's really no one else
in the American League. The only person I could think of in the American League. Let me go through my list here. Keep talking though. You pick your other.
Okay, so I'm gonna help you out though with thinking. My other guess was Jose Ramirez.
He had a good season last
year.
But
he lost Lindor. Who's his protection in the lineup? There's no Carlos Santana.
No, I don't know. That's a good point.
Rosario?
No, that's a good point. Cleveland is in rebuild mode, so
Yeah.
Oh, I can't think of a good one, but the one actually, no, I have one competitor I think that would do okay.
Okay.
Max Kepler.
Okay.
Max Kepler can do it.
I think Kepler, though, has been more on the power side, but I don't think he can do all the tools Mike Trout does with that.
I get that.
Like
I get
average,
that.
his average is not going to be there.
What I'm saying is like, okay, looking at the competition in the American League compared to Mike Trout, I mean, Anthony Rendon is on the same team, can do just as well. Another crazy one I could pick, and he does have the gold gloves to prove it. Matt Olson's not bad.
Yeah, I still go by overall, like, I don't know.
Matt Olson plays defense and hits.
I'm talking about like average and everything. Slugging,
he was
OPS,
hitting for an average
like,
last year. He hit for an average last year.
What did he hit last year?
Give me a second. Hang on. I mean, it's not going to be Mike Trout if that's what you're thinking. But I'm just talking about who can go against Mike Trout. It's hard to say for the American League.
Matt Olson last year hit 195.
You know, it's good for him. It's good for him.
He's below the Mendoza
line. 14
line.
homers, though. 14 homers? Come on.
They're not going to vote for that. Those writers aren't going to vote for that.
Listen to this. Listen to this, though, okay? I mean, honestly, at the pace at 14 homers and only 60 games, he played all 60 games.
Yeah, he did.
He has progressed every year in homers, right?
Yeah,
and
in homers.
If you think, okay, but think about this. 14 times 3, what is that? That's 42 homers.
Yeah,
that's 42 homers. That would be more than the year before. And the year before, he hit 36 homers, 91 RBIs with a 267 batting average. Okay. If you think about it, 42 homers on an Oakland A's team, that's looking over 100 RBIs easily. Plus a gold glove.
Yeah.
Come on. You got to give it to him.
No.
Anyways, Mike Trout for AL. NL, who do you have?
This is so Tatis all day difficult.
Long, Tatis.
It's either
him or Machado. Either him or Machado.
You know, Tatis, Arenado.
He doesn't look good in St. Louis. I don't think he looks good.
I'm not going by spring. I'm not.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, comfortability wise is where you look at spring. And Arenado has only hit 1 home run this spring, and he's played in almost every game.
Mike Trout hit 1 home run this spring.
That's Mike Trout, though. We don't want Mike Trout.
Jock Peterson hit 8 or 9? I don't even know.
Jock Peterson looks good. Not gonna lie, Jock Peterson looks good.
He's gonna have a good time in Chicago.
I mean, Jock Peterson was a good player in the playoffs last year, and I think that's what he needed. That's what he needed. So for me, the NL, to me, honestly, it's either Manny Machado or Fernando Tatis. The San Diego Padres could potentially get a Cy Young and an MVP in the same year.
Hopefully a no-hitter as well. No hitter. I think
so
it's going to happen.
Honestly, the person I think that pitches the no-hitter for them is Blake Snell.
Yeah, me too.
Snell.
I agree.
Or Joe Musgrove. Joe Musgrove can do it.
Okay.
I like the pickup that Padres did with Joe Musgrove. I think that's great because that just solidified a first 4 pitcher rotation that they haven't had in years. And then their 5th starter, Chris Paddock, who can pitch well. He just needs to find it.
And Lamette's on the sidelines right now, and you don't know what you're going to get from him, but he's still there.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be the number 3 starter because Blake Snell's 2. Joe Musgrove's 4. Yeah. So
Darvish is the opening day nod.
Well, yeah.
Man,
we'll see.
They're going to be really fun.
They're going to be good.
Man.
And with that, folks, we're going to wrap things up here. That is the Throwing Partners session. Thank you for attending. Thank you for attending. Thank you for listening. We hope to see you again. We hope you share this to all your family and friends. And like I always say, and we always say, always be kind, be respectful, care for one another, take care of one another, help a person out if need be. Just be there for somebody and do the right thing. Do good deeds.
Lean on me When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I don't know if we have the rights to that, so I'm going to stop singing. I don't want to get in trouble. But Chris, ditto. Do all that. Be kind, be nice. Let's watch some baseball this week.
It's time
Let's
for
go.
baseball. It's time for
Baseball. MLB.
So with that, folks, we are signing off. Have a good rest of the work week or weekend whenever you're listening, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.